And welcome back to the Will Flanagan Show. My guest is candidate for mayor, Jonathan Albernaz. Jonathan, education. How do you feel the current education system is in Fall River? You know, we opened up this beautiful school today called Durfee High School. As the mayor of Fall River, you would also have the opportunity to sit as chair of the school committee. And
I will, absolutely. Yep.
So education, how do you feel about it? And what would you do differently or better?
So better, there's the curriculum that's being taught right now to kids is inadequate. To me, it's education. The best parts of education comes from the curriculum that's being taught and from the teachers that are instructing the students. Those two things I weigh as more valuable to an individual's education than the facility that they are learning from. Now, don't get me wrong, the new Durfee High School is absolutely beautiful, very fantastic building. That's attracting a lot of people from out of state to move into Fall River, as it typically does. But what you hear a lot, and you can just talk to any parent in the Fall River area, a lot of people move to places like Somerset for a better education, right? And their high school it's not going to be better than Fall River's new high school, right? Yet they still move to these locations. Why? Because they have better teachers, better course curriculum being taught.
What do you do to get better teachers in Fall River or change the curriculum?
So for teachers, it's really about attracting them, and that has to come from pay, right? You get better teachers when the pay matches their expertise, right? And making sure that these teachers are being assessed correctly, right? That's the responsibility of the superintendent. But there's also the curriculum, so the material that these ideally better teachers would be providing, and not to say that we don't have already good teachers, but it could also be a fault of the curriculum itself that's being taught, right? We should be focusing more on classical education, things that teach the best possible aspects of mathematics and science and the English language, right? For vocational schools, like they're supposed to be okay. So for vocational schools like Diamond, right? What they offer on the vocation side is well and sound, but they do have to play a little bit of catch up, especially when it comes to the 2-year sort of formal education that they get. So those are things I would focus on in order to make sure that.
We'll take a commercial break.
Yep.
We'll be right back. And my guest is Jonathan Albernaz, running for the office of mayor here in Fall River. Cities, vibrant cities, they have events, they have life, they have nightlife. What do you think of the current entertainment market, the current nightlife in the city? And as a mayor, what would you do to promote it better?
Yeah, so the current nightlife, it's been stymied by the lockdowns and the regulations that have been put in place, but that has laxed over the summer, and hopefully it'll stay laxed and go back to what it was. And certainly I would see that out to make sure that we're back to quarantining and COVID and restriction type practices, especially for the businesses. But I think we need to boost all of those types of activities, because Fall River used to have lots of large events, not just related to the Holy Ghost Feast, right? Especially in Kennedy Park, where we used to have big, giant national level bands performing and worldwide bands performing at Kennedy Park, massive festivals. Would love to promote and see those types of activities happening, not just at Kennedy Park, but in other locations across the city. The biggest one, I think, that everyone that I've talked to when on a person-to-person basis, when collecting signatures and whatnot, is bringing back Fall River Celebrates America. I talked to one of the people that was responsible for the logistics of that event, and it just seems like a no-brainer to get that event running again. I know it got canceled, I think it was right around 2011, give or take, and it had in part due to the artists that were being attracted for that event and the amount of money that they were requesting in order to be taken in. And I guess people people running the event at the time just didn't want to pay those types of artists those types of fees. But to me, that shouldn't have gotten in the way of an event that brought in lots of people from outside of Fall River, spending lots of money, driving the local economy, driving local businesses, allowing people to sort of set up shop in the stands that they have, to enjoy the cultures, the many different cultures of Fall River, eating different foods. They had multiple stages going on with different types of music and things like that.
Would you try to bring back Fall River Celebrates America?
Absolutely, I'd bring it back, and if it's just a question of making sure that it's financially feasible, it will be. I mean, the simple solution to something like that, and I'm not saying that this is the only solution, but the very simplest solution is to just raise ticket prices. Yes, people won't appreciate that thing, but what would you rather have? No Fall River Celebrates America that helps all people within the city collectively, both in celebration, getting together, and experiencing one another's cultures, and getting that economic boost that it does generate, or not having it at all and having these because of ticket prices that are a little bit too high, right? And even then, just negotiations between different artists and stuff like that. Like, maybe we don't need to bring in the biggest of the big artists in order to have these types of attractions that will bring people. And I think at this time and age, when having events like Fall River Celebrates America, that used to be 5 days long, right? I think people will be way more appreciative of those types of events given the current circumstances, and would attract more people because there really isn't much else going on. So I see that as a opportunity for that event in particular, because there isn't much competition out there.
Fair enough. Do some rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, A Clockwork Orange.
Favorite book?
Favorite book? There's quite a few. Let's say The Phoenician Letters.
All right. Favorite Fall River restaurant?
Academica.
Football or baseball?
Neither. I'm not a sports person.
Okay. What do you do for fun?
I do games, do a lot of gaming. I am also a musician.
Okay.
So, for fun, I actually enjoy working. So, just working is fun for me.
What instrument do you play?
I play the guitar. I used to actually play at the PAL, playing for a local band. We played shows at the PAL before, when it was actually open. Played at a couple of other places in like Somerset and Swansea. Played in Providence and stuff like that. This is going back to like high school. So yeah, we played some shows.
Favorite band?
Favorite band is the Ramones.
All right. Give you a minute, 90 seconds. Give you a final word to the listeners and to the voters of Fall River. Why should they elect you on September 21st?
Yeah.
Or vote for you on September 21st, I should say.
Sure. I mean, consider voting for me. Look, I'm an outsider to politics in general. And I can't make any promises to anyone. I don't know what I will or won't be capable of achieving within there. And to me, it just seems like a lot of politicians are making promises that they can't keep or have nothing to show for 2 years down the road, right? The one thing I can certainly say is that I'm always a cautious person. I always take things very carefully and very measured. I'm not going to disrupt the system, but I will look into every facet of the system and make sure that it's running in a more optimal way. And to that end, I want to see a more prosperous Fall River. I mean, the ratio that we have, like I said before, with unemployment, why should bigger cities like Boston have the better unemployment rate? Why can't Fall River have the better unemployment rate, the better economy, the better local culture, the lower crime rate, right? All these things can happen. It's just the need and the energy to strive for it. And I have lots of energy. I don't mind working countless hours beyond full time. That's not an issue for me. So I'm going to focus on these things. And it's the little details I also pay attention to. I have to, just given the nature of my profession, doing engineering, doing computer science. If something doesn't work, it just will not operate. There's bugs in the systems, right? And I correct those things. I look into the finer details of why something seemingly trivial will break something much larger in a holistic system as it runs and operates.
Fair enough. Jonathan, thank you for coming on. Website, Facebook, where can people find you?
Yeah, just look up, do searches for Vote Albernaz. I'm on Instagram and on YouTube. So,
And how do you spell Albernaz?
Albernaz, Albernaz.
Okay, Vote Albernaz. It's Jonathan Albernaz, candidate for mayor in the city of Fall River. He's asking for your vote on Tuesday, September 21st. John E., thanks for coming in. We'll be right back. It's the Will Flanagan Show on WSAR.